So really quick, just for fun, I wanted to show you that I drew my rule of thirds lines just to see what the focal point was, and it lands right on like the wakeboarder's thigh right there, and also along this one line. He's totally on this axis here, and I thought that that was cool that the book paid attention to the rule of thirds when telling us to crop this image to that 2-inch marker line right here, so that he would fall right there. So I just wanted to point that out, and because I don't want to delete my rule of thirds, I might need them again, but I want to hide them. All I have to do is hit Control semicolon to hide them, or if I want to show them again, I just hit Control semicolon again. Control semicolon to hide them, or you can always go View and Show, and then Guides, or View, Show, and then uncheck the guides. That's the long way, but I like the shortcut. I use it all the time. And so now at this point, I want you to make a copy. Let's see. No, actually, let's put on the background first. I already selected the color that I wanted to, but one thing the book suggested, which I also like to suggest, is when you are going to fill in a background color or pick a color for text, I always try to sample a color from the current image here, just to give it some continuity. So grab your eyedropper tool. You can either press I on your keyboard or go up and click the eyedropper. There's several eyedroppers to choose from, but just the plain one, the regular eyedropper tool. And then zoom in and just select some of the orange on his shorts. And I think that's a great color. That's what the book suggested, and I totally agree, because orange is a color for energy, so I think it's great to represent sports and action. And then what I want you to do is grab your paint bucket, and I actually already taught you guys how to fill a layer with color, but I taught you the shortcut first. But the long way is to grab a paint bucket and then make sure you're on the right layer, this background layer, because we don't want to fill the wakeboarder layer, and then just click with the color that you have, and it fills with orange. The fast way, so I'm going to go Control Z to go back in time, is Option or Alt Delete, and that's what I've been just showing you. It just fills whatever selection you have. If you don't have an actual marqueed out selection, then it'll fill the entire layer. And it's such a great shortcut, because I constantly need to fill things with color. So now we have our orange background to go with our wakeboarder. And then at this point, I want you to make a copy of your wakeboarder layer. So just click on your wakeboarder layer, hit Control J, and then what we're going to do is, I already did this. One thing, we're going to be learning about filters for the rest of the lesson, and the problem is if you are in RGB mode or CMYK mode, then you don't get, like, a lot of these filters are going to be grayed out. Here, let me show you. I already switched it. Image mode, let's see, CMYK, don't merge. Okay, so let me show you. When I'm back in CMYK mode, which is what we set up our file for, a lot of the filters are grayed out. Okay, and so they only work in CMYK mode, or RGB mode. So I have to switch back to RGB mode. And whenever you switch and you want to keep your layers, say do not merge. You do not want to merge your layers, or you're just going to have a flat image again. Do not merge. Okay, so now we're in RGB mode, and I can pick a filter, and then I'll see all these filters, are the ones that were grayed out, are now available again. And one we're going to choose is Liquify, and we're going to focus on this one tool, the first tool here, which I've never really used any of the other ones. The times that I've used Liquify actually was to force someone to smile. You can actually pull with this tool at the corner of someone's mouth and force them to smile. Okay, I just pushed his face in. But the way it works is, depending on your brush size, you can use your brackets right and left to make your brush bigger or smaller. But you can either push pixels out or push them in.